All right, yesterday we added some stuff to our lamp class so that we could create multiple lamps in different locations. So we're going to just run this thing so we can kind of talk about it. Okay, so our dresser lamp is created as a new lamp and it's giving X and Y to be 10 and 260. So that's this lamp right here. My lamp is at X equals 150, Y equals 10. That's that lamp right there. And then my wife's lamp is at 350, 10. That's that lamp right there. And so let's just talk real quickly about how that works. Just a review from yesterday. We decided that we wanted multiple lamps in the room and that we wanted those to be in different locations. And so we created X and Y variables inside of the lamp class. We call those instance variables, and those are going to keep track of where this lamp is in the room. When we have instance variables, we need a constructor to allow for us to send a value. Like for example here, this is a call to the constructor. We're sending 150 to the X and 10 to the Y. And then those set X and Y respectively. And when we draw a lamp, we draw it with X and Y in mind. So we're going to fill an oval at XY, fill the bulb at X plus 20, Y plus 20, etc. And so each of these has its own position. And what we're going to do today is talk about how could we change something else. All right. So once in a while, I know it's not very often, but once in a while, you want to change the sheets on your bed, right? And when you change the sheets on your bed, the color of your bed might change, right? So we're going to enact that in our little example here, all right? So I'm going to just kind of adjust this up here so it's not taking up all the room again. But what we want to do now is we're going to say, when we make our bed, we're going to say what the color of the sheets are on the bed, all right? So, in my bed class, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to create an instance variable or add an instance variable for the color of the sheets. All right? Since it's an instance variable, it's going to be private. And what type of variable do you think this is? Okay, that's a good guess. So this is going to be a color variable, all right? And I'm just going to call it sheet color because I don't want to just call it color. Okay? Now that I've added this instance variable, we're saying every bed that we make can have its own color. Now I don't have more than one bed in my room, all right? But you could imagine that you do have more than one bed, or you could create multiple beds with different colors. In order to do that, we have to add a constructor to initialize the sheet color. Or in other words, the instance variable. All right, so a constructor is going to be public. It doesn't have a return type, so it's not void or anything else. What's the name of the constructor? So the name of the constructor is the same as the name of the class. That's always the case. So this thing's going to be called bed. And then we need parameters inside of my parentheses here that are going to keep track of or are going to receive whatever color we want the sheet color to be. So that's going to be color. And then what I usually do is just call it the sheet color. All right, and then we want to bracket outside of there. And then inside of the constructor, we're going to go sheet color equals the sheet color. All right, so what we've done now is we've made it so that we can assign a sheet color to a bed, okay? And we do that through the constructor. And now what we want to do is we want to change the way that the bed draws so that we're taking advantage of that sheet color, okay? So when I change my sheets, I also change my pillowcases, all right? So I want to say for the pillows and the sheet, we want those to have a color that's different from just red all the time. Instead of being color.red, what we're going to do here is we're going to use sheet color. Okay? So now what we do is we go over to the room, all right? And now where I try to do new bed over here, it won't let me do it. Just like it wouldn't let me do just like a regular lamp yesterday. Okay? Now, because of what I've done with the constructor and bed, I have to send it a color in order to construct the bed. So over here, if I want to change the color of the bed, then I just put the color that I want right there. All right? So now when I make my bed called B, it's a new bed and the sheets are going to be green. Okay? If I run this thing, I'm going to save everything here, run it, and now I have a green bed. If I want it to be a different color than that, right? Let's say I want yellow. Run it again. Now I have a yellow bed. All right? So what's happening again is when we create this new bed, we're sending it yellow. The bed receives the sheet color as yellow, sets sheet color to the sheet color, which is yellow. And now down here, when I'm about to draw the pillows, it says set the color to whatever the sheet color is. So that was yellow. This round rect is yellow. That round rect is yellow. That rectangle is yellow. And so my bed has those yellow sheets on it. Okay? So what I want you guys to do is to kind of play around with that. I showed you an example of using a lamp, okay, and changing where it goes. Showed you an example of the bed and changing the color of it. Let's say that, for example, you want a second dresser, but your other dresser is a different color, okay? So we'd want to have to change the position of the dresser because I don't want to stack them up on top of each other. And if I want to change the color of it, then I have 3 instance variables then. I have X and Y and color, okay? Or you could set the size if you want. Then you'd have to have instance variables for the width and the height. And so what I want you to do is just pick something in your room that you're going to make an extra one of or change the a characteristic of it. Color, position, size, whatever you want. But I want you to have a chance to kind of practice this on your own.